Hi, I'm Daryl Johnson of One of a Kind by Design, and I first like to say, hey, happy Friday. Now, this week we are going to talk about the 5 components of a great blog. So stay tuned. Okay, before we actually jump into the course, I haven't spoken to my group in such a long time now. Actually, it's been over a month or so, almost 2 months. But I just want you guys to know that, hey, I'm still here for you guys. Even though you see me on the stream every now and then, I'm still here to promote your websites, providing that you become Mastermind of the Week. So, hey, keep giving those tips. And for my past Masterminds of the Week, hey, I'm still waiting on you guys to bring me somebody that you think that deserves to be Mastermind of the Week. Okay, now that I've said that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the course. All right? Everybody, let's go ahead and get started with this week's tips. And on this week, we're going to talk about 5 simple components for a great blog. Okay, now before we actually get into it, I know we have some people that are just coming to this channel for the first time and probably going like, what's going on with this channel? You know, I don't know anything about this. Well, what I'm going to do is kind of do a recap, not only for those who are just finding this channel, but for those that are following along, so you can see how far we've come from day one. Now we're on the 5th week now, and as you all know, these tips come to you every Friday, and I've asked you guys to give me 3 blog posts. Okay, and as of now, you should have 9 blog posts. Okay, now what I'm going to do this week, I'm not going to ask you to give me 3 more blog posts. What I'm going to do this week is to have you go back over each blog that you have with the information that I'm going to give you tonight, so you can kind of perfect it and also get it ready when it's time for us to put all of these components together step by step. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next page here, and we're going to recap real quick. Okay, now as you all know, we've been in this process for over 5 weeks now. Well, actually it's longer than 5 weeks, because I actually missed 2 weeks, and I do apologize for that, guys, for those of you that are following along. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of touch bases on everything. And I'm going to do it real quick because I don't want to spend as much time as I did last week. I try to want to make these quick and to the point. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, 1, knowing your niche or passion. 2, how to create a business plan / blueprint. 3, knowing the demographics you're serving. 4, knowing your demographics hangouts on social media. 5, have a monthly budget and stick to it. 6, what free and paid marketing strategies you can use. 7, branding your business. And 8, get a business license. Okay, now these are the things that we've actually went over in the past. Now I know I'm not going over last week's. I'm going to touch on that next, but I want to go over these real quick. Knowing your passion and niche. Okay, we talked about knowing your passion and niche, what you want to do, what excites you to keep you motivated. And number 2, how to create a business how to create a business plan or blueprint. In other words, you need to get your business together. You know, as I've stated before, plan your work, then work your plan. Okay, so you kind of want to know what you're going to do before you do it, so you'll know how you're progressing. 3, knowing the demographics you're serving. In other words, knowing that you're going to serve, like say for instance, if you are someone that deals with dogs, you're not going to try to target people that are looking to fix cars, because that's not going to interest them, especially if they're looking for information on how to fix a car and you're talking about a dog. So you want to learn how to target those people. Now, also knowing your demographics, hangouts on social media, like say for instance, Pinterest may do more with like fashion and makeup and stuff like that, or actual tangible goods that you can actually purchase. Okay, now don't get me wrong, you can still do like blog posts as long as you have like a picture or something that's going to catch their eye. But you need to know each different social media platform and how it could work for you in your company. Now, number 5, have a monthly budget and stick to it. In other words, if you can only spend $50 a month on your company, then you need to figure out what you're going to spend that $50 on and how that $50 is going to progress your business. Okay. Now, number 6, what free and paid marketing strategies you can use. Now, on a couple of weeks ago, we went over, well, I guess it was like last week, we actually, the week before, I guess, we went over those strategies of paid and free services that you can use, but we are going to get more in depth on that in the future. Okay, as long as you keep following, you will we'll get that information. I'll get that information out to you. Now, 7, branding your business. That is so important, because most people, like they said, it takes them up to 7 times, and now they're even saying up to 11 times to see your brand before they'll even think about buying anything from you, because they want to trust you. You got to be like somebody they know, somebody that they're familiar with. Because like say for instance, if you're out of town and you see a, like say, a Burger King or something like that, a fast food restaurant, you're familiar with that brand, you know what they serve and you know what the food is going to taste like. And then you see another building that says food here, you don't know anything about that, so you're probably going to go to the Burger King, something that you're familiar with. So your brand is really, really important. And number 8, get a business license. It is so important that you get a business license, not only because you could be legal, people look at you as a reputable company. Not only that, there's a lot of great advantages to tax write-offs when you have a business. And the only way you can say you are a business is by having a business license. And you will need to speak with your local government to see what type of license you actually need for your business. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about last Friday we learned how to make money online, and we touched on affiliate programs. We also talked about number 2, which is your personal products and services, and number 3, ad sponsors, and number 4, multi-level marketing. And I talked about each one of those, how you can use that within your blog post to make money from your post. Now, these are not the only things you can use to make money online, but I'm just going to stick to these things so you'll kind of have an idea of what you can actually do to make money. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next screen here. Okay, 5 simple components for a great blog. Okay, number 1, eye-catching title. The title should draw readers to your content. Keep it simple and under 9 words or less than possible. Okay, in other words, you don't want a title that's going to read like a big paragraph, because you already going to lose their attention. Okay, now unless that's a really dynamic title. Okay, number 2, research keywords. You need to know the keywords that people are looking for when they search for information. Okay, and I have under here for more information, click here. Right now that's going to take you to a blog post on my website that's going to tell you even more information about keyword research and search engine optimization, but sooner or later that's going to be changed to a video. So you're going to check that out. Go ahead and check it out for those of you that are on the actual that are in the actual class. Okay, you'll be able to click on that. And the next one is 3, always add an image. And before I go into it, it's really important that you add an image, especially when it comes to social media and stuff like that. Then that's going to help that, number one, you're going to have an eye-catching title, but you also want to have an eye-catching image that's going to also help draw them in. So you need to always try to add an image to your content. This will also attract eyes to your post when sharing on social media, just like I said. Okay, because I'll explain that to you later, but we'll get more into that on the image. But that is very, very important. Number four, inform, not authoritate. And what I mean by that is talk with your visitors as if they were a good friend. Try to stay away from words they'll need to look up, okay, in a dictionary or a thesis or whatever. So you want to sound more of a friend, and you know, when you talk to people and say, well, hey, other words, you know, let's just put it in a simple way for you. You can talk to someone about fixing a car, and you can say, well, hey man, if you do this, this will happen. But if you do it another way as an authoritative figure, and you say, like, the only way you can get this done is by using the crankshaft to manifest a blah 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 whatever, you know, you're going to lose people's attention. People want to be talked to like a friend, and that's going to make them know you as an individual. And in other words, this part of your blog is basically a part of you, and you want to talk to it like you're talking to a friend, and that's how you're going to gain a following of people that like you. You also going to have people that don't like what you say, but hey, like I said, everything is not for everybody. Okay. And the last one, number five, keep it simple. Try to stay between 450 to 900 words. Understand people will just glance over to get the info they need. Okay, and what I mean by that, most people, like, as you know, we're a society now, we want our information quick, just like we like our internet service quick, just like we like our fast food quick. They just want that information so they can get it and go. Now, the best thing about that, you can lead them to your product or service with just a couple of words and by the way you say it, okay? So you kind of want to keep it between 450 to 900 words so you don't lose their interest, not unless it's some information that is so in-depth that they need that you have to expound upon it more. Okay, now I have a demonstration for you here. I'm gonna go ahead and click on that, which is an example of a blog post. Now, this is not my blog post, so don't start tripping, everybody. Everybody, I just want to do something funny just so you can see an example and to show you what will catch a person's eye. Okay, now on this post, you want a dynamic capture, like I said, eye-catching title. So this title says, how to say not that weird girl. Okay, and then when somebody see that, first of all, they're going to kind of throw them off, and they're probably going to laugh about it. Okay, so what is that all about? But then you're going to follow it up with a picture. Okay, now that picture is going to catch their attention because it's funny, or you know, or it may be like, you know, it's going to touch on somebody's emotion. Either it's going to be entertaining, either it's going to be scary, or you want to touch something that's going to grab somebody's attention. And that's why I say it's always good to have a picture with your blog post, so that'll draw people in even more. Now, a lot of times when you post your link on social media, or if you post it on well, just social media period, not only will it capture the title and it's going to capture the picture, but a lot of times it's going to capture a small excerpt of what that post is all about. So I wrote here, how to tell your bestie that her wig is ratchet without hurting her feelings. Now, when somebody read that, they're going to probably laugh about that too or whatever, but they're going to want to know, okay, what is this person going to tell their friend? Because I might need to tell my friend her wig is ratchet and she need to, you know, do something about it. So this is just an example of how to draw people in to your post. Now, regardless of whatever your post is, it doesn't necessarily have to be funny. It could be emotional. It has to be something that's going to grab their attention. So I just thought I would pass that on to you. Okay. Now, I know this was real quick today But when you go back and look at your 9 posts that you have, you can go back through it and think about that eye catching title that you want to write to each one of those posts. But you also want to do the research keywords. Other words, go on Google and Google, what will bring somebody to that post. So say for instance, we'll go back to dogs again. So you might have a post on dogs and it has something about walking a dog. You can say 5 ways to make your dog obey when walking. Okay, people are going to want to know that. Okay, that's going to be something capturing. Then you can use a silly picture, or you can use a picture of an obedient dog, and then you want to make sure that the first couple of lines on that blog post is going to be something that's going to draw them in real quick, and it's going to keep them there. Okay, so you need to make sure you realize what those research keywords are. So beside each one of those blog posts, you need to write down keywords, and the best way to do that is to go to Google. There's something that's called Google Keywords, and I'll teach you how to use that later on. But right now, what I want you to do is go to Google and ask Google or Bing or whatever 4 or 5 different ways to your post. In other words, ask the question 4 or 5 different ways to the post that you've actually written. And then what I want you to do, Google is going to give you like a list of words that's going to pop down, or going to come down and tell you. It'll say ways to train a dog, uh, obedient dogs, how to make a dog obey. It's all those different words, and all those different words are keywords. And you also want to look at long tail keywords. And what I mean by long tail keywords is when a word has more than 1 or 2 words in it. It may have 4 words in it, it may have 5 words in it. You want to use long tail keywords as well, because a lot of people are using long tail keywords to get people to their information. So what you want to do is speak to Google or type in Google, other words, how to look for something that's pertaining to your post, and then write those keywords down. And you want to try to write down as many keywords as you possibly can for that particular post, and then I'm going to show you what to do with those keywords when we get to that time when we get ready to post. Okay, now also, like I said, in there, read your information and see if you're talking to someone as a friend, as opposed to being somewhat very direct, because some people take that as this person is just talking to me any kind of way, or just saying things that like I'm stupid or I'm a child. Nobody wants to be talked to like a child. You want to talk to them like they're your friend, or someone that you're just you're helping, but you're being polite about it. Okay. And number 5, like I said, you want to also look at it to see how many words you have, or characters, other words, you have in that particular post. If it's under 450, you might want to beef it up just a little bit more. Okay, but if it's over 900, you might want to consider shortening it a little bit more. So this will give you something to do within the next week before next Friday, so you can kind of go back over those posts and correct them the way they need to be corrected. Because I know a lot of times we need to not only just write our post, but we need to go back and proofread it. We need to go back and read it a couple of times before we actually put it out there. And the more you do, the less time you'll have to spend on it. Because I have to admit, writing blog posts for me was the most scariest thing I had ever done. But I knew I needed to tackle that fear in order for me to move forward with internet marketing, okay, and have longevity in it. Now, speaking of longevity, I know a lot of people say, well, I hate writing posts, I don't like writing or whatever. The way I do my posts, I would actually take my phone, and a lot of people have on their phone where you can speak into it on a pad, and everything you say will go down on the pad. And so that's what I'll do. I'll just start talking about everything in that post, and then I'll get it'll actually write it out for me. I'll take it and I'll email it to myself, and then I'll proofread it, because with voice texting and stuff like that, a lot of things you say don't come out correctly. But this way, you at least have the meat. and then you can go back and put the seasoning on, or you can go ahead and take off the fat, or you can go ahead and restructure it, the way you want it to sound. So that makes it a lot easier for you. Okay, so that's just one tip you can actually use to uh, uh, to make a post or a blog post. I'm sorry, I'm kind of tripping over my tongue tonight. Another thing you could do, go ahead and look at YouTube channels on your same niche and see what people are saying. And you don't want to just see what one person is saying about a particular part of your niche. You probably want to see what 4 or 5 people are saying, just to see if you fall within the same guidelines of what they're saying. Because if you got 5 people or 6 people saying the same thing, apparently this resonates within that niche that this is true. Okay, now everything everybody says on YouTube is not true, and I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying, this is going to help you with your blog posts and get you thinking of things that you could actually write and post. Okay, now that you've come this far, there are some things that I actually use. I'm always reading, I'm always trying to keep up on the latest trends when it comes to blogging or anything that has to do with internet marketing. And I actually have these 3 books, and I'm going to turn you on to them real quick. And I'm going to recommend these books for you. And if you're here following, if you're looking at this on YouTube, go below. There's a link to the course. This is a free course that you can follow along. That's why I kind of gave you all the information of where we are, and you could probably go back and get caught up or just do it as your leisure. But these are 3 books that I actually have in my arsenal that's actually helped me. And trust me, even though I bought them one time, I still go back and read things over and over again, because one, things do change, but they don't change that much, but they do change. And so the first book is Own Your Niche. Okay, this book is going to teach you how to be a person that everybody wants to go to in that niche, and it's going to teach you how, not only how to find your niche, but how to get your niche out there to the masses, to the people that you want to hear your information. Okay, now also SEO made simple. Now people are going to tell you, they hate SEO, they don't want it, they don't like SEO or stuff. You have 2 things you could do with this. You could either contract it out to a company that's going to take care of all your SEO for you, which is going to be very expensive. But just like I said before, you either, if you have a lot of money, then it's going to be shorter time you're going to need for your internet marketing, because you can get people to do things for you, okay, and make it simpler for you. Or you're going to have to do it yourself, and it's going to be more time if you don't have that much money. Now, this is going to teach you the simple steps on what you can do to perfect your SEO, which is search engine optimization. Okay, and this book has really helped me out a lot to understand search engine optimization. Now, I have to admit, things have changed a little, but it's still basically the same. Other words, they're using a lot more social media to boost your rankings, as when people share your information, those pages that I was telling you about with the pictures on it, to share it. There's more shared, the more Google and Bing and all those other search engines see how important it is, because people are sharing it and people are liking it and people are tweeting it and things like that. Okay, now the 3rd book, Social Media. Now, this book is actually going to give you some tips on how to use each different platforms that are out there, okay, and how to use them at its best, okay. In other words, say you wouldn't use Facebook like you use LinkedIn, and you wouldn't use LinkedIn like you use Pinterest or Instagram. So this book is going to tell you about each one of those platforms and how to use those platforms for your business and to grow your business, so you can actually get the word out there faster. Now, I'm going to say this: if you don't have any social network set up for your business, you need to go ahead and do that now and get them all set up. Okay, get them set up right now. And if you have any questions about it, please send me a note via email for those of you that are taking the class, or you can just direct it to me on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and answer those questions. I didn't have any questions from last week, so I guess I don't have any responses or shout outs to give to anybody like I stated I would on last week. So I'm going to end this right here, and I want to thank you guys for sticking with me, but I have some other things I need to tell you, so hold up and let me change over. Okay, now first I'd like to say, if you stuck with us this long, why not subscribe? Go ahead and click the button right there. I believe that's where it is, and maybe it's on the other side, I'm not sure. And join us every Friday, because that's when these courses come out, every Friday. Also, the links will be provided for the books as well as the free course, okay? So that's all I want to say. Oh, let me stop. If you are enjoying this, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're seeing the content and what you actually think about it. Man, that's all I'm going to say about that today. You have a wonderful day.